Christ has been preparing us. Christ has been preparing us. He says, in my Father's house there are many mansions. I will go and prepare a place for you. But when the place is prepared, I must then come back and prepare you for the place that I've prepared for you. Conversation with my wife today is, Lavi, this is the message. Mama out, and keep Mama out. And then she says, okay, that means put Mama out. Moba, I am not comfortable in the place during the day. How much more at night? Because we were not prepared, or we did not take the preparation seriously. You know, so every time God has prepared a place and the place is ready and prepared for you, He comes to prepare you for that place. Joy, if God does not prepare you for the husband He has prepared for you, you will treat the husband He has prepared for you like he is the boyfriend that you broke up with. And ultimately you will destroy or lose your marital life. You know, I believe that what they meant is you are not prepared for what God is giving you. So because you are not prepared, you are saying, this one does not have six-pack, this one, this one is not stylish because you are not prepared. You thought that God wanted you to marry to a certain type of body or a certain type of fashion, but God wanted you to marry to the person within. You are welcome. You are welcome. Ne? So after God prepared a place, He prepares you. After God prepares a place, He prepares you. And sometimes, just sometimes, there's one instance in the Bible, in the life of Zachariah, where God had to silence Zachariah, where He had to mute him. Not only mute him, but cause him to be deaf as well.
Oh, he was at both?
Yes.
Wow.
He was deaf and dumb.
Wow.
he was attacked with the spirit of deaf and dumb. And there is the spirit that causes seizures. There is the spirit behind epilepsy, the deaf and dumb spirit. Anyway, we are not dealing with that. So He caused him to do that because God, when God wants you, when God wants you to do, or when God has prepared a place for you, or has prepared stuff for you, He will then remove you from certain people and certain things, so that you don't have to hear their negativity, so that you don't have to speak negativity you and I as well.
Amen.
So God has been good, and today He's saying, I am redeeming you from disorder, and I am redeeming you from bondage. I am redeeming redeeming you from disorder, and I'm redeeming you from bondage. The Bible says you have been redeemed from the curse of the law. The curse of the law brings bondage. The curse of the law brings disorder, and finally it brings death. You know, and God does not want us to die, but God wants us to live. Ne?
Yes.
So get 20 today. You know, so you have the hand that is covering you, and you have the hand that is giving to you. Ne? You have the hand that is covering you, and you have the hand that is giving to you. So let's go to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 17 today. Verse 17. Last week we said that faith is your servant. Last week we said that faith is your servant. Last week we prayed crazily, and just to give a spiritual testimony. God brought a message from a person that we used to fellowship with, saying, "Hi, are you guys still meeting on a Tuesday?" And
one of them we prayed for.
And I declare that spiritual is here. We are just waiting for the Lord. I go. And that was an game.
I'm going to the common numbers because these are the numbers.
One, but it's a game because I said
These are the numbers.
Wow.
yeah, so
That is nice.
so Mulimo faithful was around. You know, Mulimo faithful I spoke to one of the saints, Joy No, and she says that she has been having sessions. She says that she has been getting on the sessions, and now people are just coming, you know, you know. So there are many things that God is doing. There are many things that God is answering. And I'm still waiting for my testimony. God said there's a testimony you must give. So I'm waiting for that testimony. I'm going to give it now. Oh, okay. Okay. So there are many things, you know, that God is doing. We might not see these things that God is doing because we are focusing on other things. Before you guys came, we prayed and we said, Lord, change my language, so that I don't say I have to go to work, but I speak from gratitude and I say I get to go to work, you know, so that we don't say I have to go to church, but we speak from gratitude and we say I get to go to church, because you see an opportunity in these things that God is doing. So Ephesians 6 verse 17, please read when you have it.
ECV.
Okay.
The version says, "Let God's savings power be like a helmet, and for a sword use God's message that comes from the Spirit."
Okay, we'll get to God's message that comes from the Spirit.
Okay.
Today we're speaking about the saving power. Read that again.
And let God's saving power be like a helmet.
Let God's saving power be like a helmet. What translation do you have?
It's
Yes.
Put on salvation as your helmet, and take the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God.
Okay. Put on salvation as a helmet. Put on salvation as a helmet. Let God's saving power be around your head. Be around your head as a helmet. Yeah? So we are still dealing with the topic our weapons, and today we are looking at the helmet of salvation. God's saving power as a helmet. Mama, do you have another translation?
I have a New King James, and it says, "And take the helmet of salvation."
And take the helmet of salvation. And take the helmet of salvation. I love it because it says take, which means there's a part you must play. God gives salvation, but the people that do not have salvation are the ones that are not taking it. So it says take salvation. So there are many words for the word salvation. Some of them they mean prosperity, some of them they mean deliverance, some of them mean saving, some of them means protection. So there are many names for salvation, And when Moses says, "Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord," your salvation is going to be dependent on what you need at that point in time. Your salvation is always dependent on what you need at that point in time. So if you need to be prospered financially, when we say stand and see the salvation, we are saying stand and see God coming through financially. If you need to be taken care of or being protected spiritually, we are saying stand and see God coming through spiritually. And the issue of helmet, it's encirclement around the head. Around the head. And why the head? Why the head? Why the head? Why the head? The head, it's a representation of authority. I am the head of the house. I am the authority of the house. The head, it is what must come out first when a child is given born to, is given birth to. Amen. So Jacob tried to override the protocol, and from him trying to override the protocol, when his brother was born, he took out his hand. But the Bible says the midwife pushed the hand back because babies are not born by the hand coming out first, but they are born by the hand coming out first. That is why when a woman is pregnant and the baby has not turned, it is called breech. It is called breech. God is reminding me of certain things. So this is a point where you're coming out with your feet first, and many children do not survive because the head was meant to come out first. This is one of the difficult ways of giving birth, because this is until the process that God has given. And then there's those like us who jumped the fence. The Bible says any woman or any man to legally exist here on earth, he has to come through the door of a woman. But in a spumana, what does it to be cut and then
what does that mean?
And then we jumped the fence. We jumped the fence. The Bible says a thief jumps the fence, but the shepherd enters
through the gate.
So when the enemy tried to close the door to not allow us from coming in, we jumped the fence. Then we jumped the fence and we had to come here on earth to do what we are supposed to do. Whether the devil likes it or yes, we had to come and do what we had to do. Then, so the head means authority. So the head means authority, and the head always comes out first. Even when we are baptized, what breaks through the water is the head, because the head has to come out first. And I can tell you why would God would Paul write and make the helmet number 5 when the head comes out first, because the battles of our warfare, where the Bible starts, it says they're not carnal, but they are spiritual. And your thoughts are not carnal. Your thoughts are spirits, or your thoughts are spiritual. Yes, ma'am.
That is what is coming to mind, because as you're speaking, I'm just thinking, I'm trying to imagine the full armor, and I'm thinking the types of helmets that there are, because there are helmets that
I have.
So running through your ears, it's not protected, because that would affect the head, which will affect your mind. So the helmet that we're talking about, that is why it covers everything, because it's supposed to even protect your ears.
It covers your ears so that you don't hear things from outside. It
covers your mouth.
You know, it covers in your eyes, because my God was saying that in the head, this is where more senses are.
Okay.
This is where more gates are. So there is the eye gate, there is the ear gate, the mouth gate, the nose gate. 5 gates are found in the head. That's why I don't know why Paul decided to make it number 5. Protecting everything else before he protects the head. I know. So many times the challenge might be small, but in your head you can enlarge it. You know, and you're thinking, yeah, I'm gonna die if I don't get this, but that is just in your head. So God wants us to deal with that. You know, the issue of headship, the issue their authority, the issue of salvation is the issue of the head. So we have the mind, and we have the brain, and the mind houses thoughts. And I have just said thoughts are spiritual. Meaning when you're thinking thoughts that are against what the Word of God says, then you are in warfare. This is why many people would then say the battle is in the mind. Or the mind is the battlefield. Because this is where the spiritual activities begin to happen. You will not have physically what your mind has not grabbed. Because your mind interacts or allows you into the spirit. And if you can think it, then you can have it. You cannot say it until you have thought it. So for things to get to your heart, they go first through your mind. That's why the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart. So your thinking leads us to your heart. How a demon enters and possesses a person and controls a person from within, it first starts in the mind. So you'll be going through internet, what I am saying is, and then for some reason a thought comes and say xxx.com because someone wants to bind you. So you will fight and ultimately you have gone to that page. And what he does is he begins to allow images to be formed in you. Most of the time you cannot unsee what you've seen. And it's a battle. That's why Paul says to Corinthians, we are casting out imaginations, because there are certain things that you see and immediately they bring imaginations.
True.
So salvation, or the saving power of God, must encircle our head. We must wear salvation as a helmet. So this is where the fighting happens. This is where you start thinking, he's not going to take my course during the day. He's up to something. And you stop focusing on work. And you stop focusing on God. And you start looking for evidence of what you are thinking of. And the more you look for evidence of what you are thinking of, you will find evidence. Ne? Because the mind which houses the thought changes the brain. So the brain can change. The brain is a physical thing. But if the brain is disconnected from your head, your brain becomes useless. But for as long as your brain is attached to your mind and you are thinking, your brain changes. Depending on what the child reads, on what the child hears, on what the child sees, the child can go from being dumb to being a genius, depending on what you are feeding the brain. If you feed the brain Isibaya, and you feed the brain Idibala, and we feed the brain all of these things, then the brain structure changes, and then but when you start feeding the brain the things that the brain needs, when you start reading bedtime stories that stimulate proper imagination, when you start reading the word and play like this in a place where the word is being spoken, then the mind then activates and gets to genius. That's why the Bible says, teach a child the way that they should go, and when they are old, they will not forget it. Yeah? So there's a prophetic gift in his life. And he's playing as though he's not a prophet. But it is him seeing his father doing what his father is doing. Then later on in life, he will say, I used to see my father preach. I used to see my father gathering people. I used to see my father praying for people. Lately, one word that he says more than any other word is power. It was power. And I'm like, what are we doing with power? But he's always speaking of power, you know. And because he had his brother called Woody Fire, when he light up TV or he light up computer, when the scene is coming, he says, fire, fire, fire. And it's not even Muruti on the screen. But because every time he heard his brother saying fire, 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 and his brother heard Muruti saying fire, 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 now the brother has transferred to him this whole life. Ne? So there are certain things you have to see them happen. You have to see them happen. You have to get yourself to the point when you start thinking about them. Ne? You have to get yourself to the point where you start thinking about them. And as I was meditating during the day, God says, I wanted you to marry a woman who saw their father buying a house, so that she can lead you to buying a house. If I had married a woman whose father did not go out and buy a house, I would not have gone out from my father's place. I would have lived the same life that my father lived. I would have died the same way that he died, because there was nothing around me and in me that stimulated me to think and want something different. You know, so now we are living in a house and it's only us as a family. There's no sister, there's no brother, there's no babamdala, because of the type of woman that I married. And as I married her, God began to bring these things into my mind. He began to bring these things into my mind to say, this woman, because she saw the father buy a house, because when the father bought a house, she was already born, she was already living, probably she already knew how to walk, you know, so she experienced this whole thing, and even if I would have wanted to stay in this house forever, she would have frustrated me, because this is not the life that she's coming from. So that's why salvation has to be worn as a helmet. It has to come to our head, because it has a lot to do with our thinking. It has a lot to do with our thinking. It has a lot to do with our thinking. So, Prophet said, about 2 weeks ago. He said that people are trying to change their ways without changing their thoughts. The way you think is what is giving you the life that you are living. You cannot change your life until you change your thoughts. The key to changing your life is to change your thoughts. The key to changing a person is to change what they know. Because if you change what they know, then you have changed the destiny about it. If you change what they think, then you have managed to change the genealogy about it. So the difference between me and my father is the way we think. For as long as I lived here, and sometimes I find myself thinking about it. My father lived all of his life trying to renovate the house. And Father, there's another prime. In the prime of my life, I renovated this house. So for as long as I thought the thoughts that my father thought, I lived the life that my father lived. He had him covered, and look at me, I'm going there. Both sides, my father. So for you to have a life that is different from your mother, for you to have a life that is different from your father, you have to now start thinking differently. And this is why God gave Christ, because Christ had to come and cause us to think differently. He had to come and say, you must eat me and drink my blood so that my life will be in you. He had to come and say, I am the way, not I know the way. Because back in the days, we used to be watching people that know the way. Isaiah prophesied about the way, or Isaiah's eyes were opened to see the way. Jeremiah pointed people to the way. Hosea pointed people to the way. Everybody that existed pointed people to the way. But the way had to come and say, I am the way. So when we get the way, we no longer know the way, but we become what the way is. So if Christ is the way, I have eaten Christ, I have drunk Christ, then I am the way. The reason why I am standing here is because I am the way. The reason why you are following is because I follow the way, and what I follow I become. So you are following so that you may become the way. He says, I am the truth, not I know the truth. I am the truth. So if you want to know truth, you look at me and you see truth. He says, I am the bread. If you are hungry, I am here to feed you. So we have to get to that point where we have changed how we think, where we have moved away from the ways that our mothers and our fathers began to think. So when we moved, or now that we have moved, I don't know which one. Okay, now that we have moved, it doesn't mean that we have money to pay where we are. It doesn't mean that we can afford the place that we are in. But it's because of our thoughts that the life that we are thinking now was attracted to us.
True.
So if we did not think house, even though we were not thinking renting, we were thinking building our house from ground up. If we did not think house, we would not be living in a house today. If we did not think our own yard, we would not have our own yard today. If we did not think we must go where we can walk around, get gown, and no one will have a problem with us, we would not be living that life today. The reason why we are living that life is because in our head that is what we are filled with. So even though we are still trying to make plans on how to get the rent, We are already thinking about speaking to this woman about selling us the house. It doesn't make sense that you don't have money for rent, but we are already speaking of buying. You know, and because we are thinking of buying, this woman will not have any other choice but to say buy. So our challenge will no longer be rent money. Our challenge will be paying off this woman. You know, so we have to start thinking different. We have to start thinking different. That's why God says salvation is in the head. Salvation could have been the breastplate. Salvation could have been the shoes, but He chose salvation to be the helmet that covers the head. He chose for salvation to be the helmet that covers the head. Now, many people are living lives happy for 3 months, and then they are no longer happy because they do not allow their mentality or mindset to be challenged. They do not allow their mentality or their mindsets to be challenged. So my father in the spirit challenged my mind or my mindset when I was enjoying having 2-3 girlfriends, eating life with fork and knife, actually eating sin with fork and knife. My father said you must marry. You know? And when he says you must marry, I went to my pockets and I said, how can this man say you must marry when my pockets are just empty?
Whereas you were living like a millionaire.
And you know, like, how do you say that, man? You know, my mindset had to be challenged. How do I bring myself to living with one woman, facing the challenges from one woman, facing the moods from one woman, when I could easily ignore this woman and go to another woman, find happiness when this one is moody. I had to allow my mind to be challenged. And I normally say, you cannot spell challenge without change. So anytime a challenge comes, the question should not be, when am I going to come out? But the question should be, God, what are you changing in my life? God, what are you changing in my life? Because when you know what God is changing, it does not matter how long you are going to be in that place. Your focus is going to be, God, I want to change. God, I want to change. God, I want to change. God, complete the process that you've started in my life. It will no longer be about, oh God, it has been 3 years now and these things are not happening. You know, your mind has to change. Your mind has to change. Because of the lifestyle that my father challenged, I am standing here today and I'm speaking. I could not speak the word of God boldly. I could not speak of a righteous God or a holy God when I know that after we say Amen, there's a lady who will be calling and saying, okay, can I get to you? Should I sleep or are you coming? You know? But today, because there's no one who's going to send me a WhatsApp and say, are you still coming? There's no one who's going to say, Manje, should I wait for you for Pastor I am boldly preaching the word because I know and I've experienced the results that the word carries and the results that the word can bring. Salvation, wear salvation as a helmet. Wear salvation as a helmet. Wear salvation as a helmet. You know? So God wants us to wear salvation as a helmet. The first thing that comes out is authority. The first thing that comes out is the head. Your authority introduces you to a place before you get there. Your authority introduces you to a place before you get there. People will speak of your authority and say there is Phillips, and Phillips does this and that. Or ever since clothes came in my life, this is what happened. And people know of the authority that they have in Christ before they meet you. The day they meet you, they will say, oh, so this is clothes. And from them meeting you, an expectation is created. You know, when clothes met Stanban, this is what happened. When we got to Dobsonville, our neighbor says my son was not being employed. But you people, you enter here and my son is employed. Why? Because the authority always goes before you. Your salvation always goes before you. So before you get to a place, God's saving power that exists in you goes there before. And it introduces you. The salvation that God has given you, or the Spirit of Christ that is in you, it works as the Spirit that was in John the Baptist. It goes to say, be prepared. There is one coming after me, but the fact that he comes after me does not mean that he is lesser than me. The fact that I am coming here first does not mean that I am greater than the one that is coming after. Amen? Wear salvation as a helmet. Wear salvation as a helmet. Wear salvation as a helmet. But what is salvation? You know what is salvation? What is salvation? What is salvation? Salvation is the plan that God had before the foundations of the world. So God in his infinite mind, in his unlimited mind, God in his eternal mind, God in his now mind, knew that humanity was going to fall. And the Bible says he crucified Christ before the foundation of the world. So before the world was formed, when men were going to fall, a solution was already sent there before the foundation. The prophet normally says that a problem exists because of the solution. So your being broke exists because you are loaded. And it takes you being broke for you to be creative, and the creativity that you will start having is the one that will usher in your money, is the one that will usher in your finances. It takes you being sick for you to be used as a healing evangelist, or healing worshiper, or healing singer, healing pastor, healing whatever, because the sickness will cause you to look for God. And when you find God and you find healing, healing is no longer something that you have, but healing becomes who you are. So you know that you are called for greater things. If when you touch people, they come and they give a testimony that, man of God, now I have a house that I thought I lost and it's fully paid up. Now you know, my life is full of houses. If one coming into your life can produce a house, then it means that I have houses.
Amen.
It means that I am houses. I don't give what I am. I give who I am. So Joy, if you start having my gift after our encounter, I am gifts. So you came and you met gifts. And because you have gifts in your life, gifts will be attracted to you.
True.
Okay. So God is calling you to be, not to have. I'm quoting Prophet too much today. Prophet says that you are a human being before you become a human doing. So you're doing because you are. We thought that in order to be, we had to do. We thought that in order to be a wife, you had to do wifely duties. But the Bible says, he who finds a wife, sometimes we find them basatelo kela, sometimes we find them basatelo kwalola, sometimes we find them basatelo anything. My father says when I met your mother couldn't cook. I had to teach her to cook. I had to teach her to bake. I had to, you know, they had to teach my mother certain things. So my mother was married or became a wife without knowing how to cook. And we have been told that you have to know how to cook in order to. We have been told that you have to be good in bed to be a wife. But the Bible says he who finds a wife. And back in those days they found their wives' visions. They don't know anything about the bedroom when they found her. So you are a human being before you become a human doing. If you start seeing yourself as a wife, when they come to you and they say, we'll be walking around and making noise like Jamal today. So don't think that you're coming to me, you are doing me a favor. Actually, I have ability to take your sperm and turn it into a baby. I have ability. So when you come to me, you are not coming to make me a wife. You are coming. The women were working to bring out this thing in me, but this one is working to bring out things that you would not have brought out if you brought your empty head. Yeah? So the reason why we have a lot of people that are barely saved in the church, but we are not getting people that are matured. It's because people are not feeding their heads. People are not feeding their heads. You are not watching the things that will push you to love God. You are not seeing the things that will push you to love God more. You are not hearing the things that will push you to love God more. You are ultimately not speaking the things that will push you to love God more. And you expect for you to have angelic encounters. You expect for you to have to not have demons in your life. How do you watch Isibaya and you watch the Queen and you watch Easterns and you watch the Bold and Beautiful, but yet you expect that joy when you take the mind and say, people will begin to fall under the power when you are spending time doing things that are not bringing the power inside of you. The reason why we are spending time with God is because we want to rub off from God. We are resting. When sex is being defined, it is defined as a wrestling between two people, because we are wrestling. I'm rubbing myself off from her, she's rubbing herself off to me, and the Bible says Jacob was wrestling with an angel. And an angel changed his name. I, Jacob, wrestled with an angel. She, Jacob, wrestled with an angel.
That came from the heart.
And the angel is changing her name.
The first statement is different. It came from the heart.
Now he calculated it.
Now he's using his mind. That was prophetic.
And the angel changed his name. Who are you wrestling with? Who are you wrestling with? The weapons of the wrestling that we're doing is not with physical things, because this is the wrestling that is happening in our thought pattern or in our minds, or it's happening in our minds. You know, and because it's happening in our minds, there is a wrestling that is happening, you know, and this wrestling, we are rubbing ourselves off with what we are wrestling with. We are rubbing ourselves off with what we are wrestling with. As he thinketh, so is he. If you find yourself thinking about sex, or you'll be thinking about boyfriend and you're not thinking marriage, you will find yourself doing these things, but you're not being married because you don't have a purpose for dating. Why are you dating? Are you dating for the sake of dating? Are you dating so that you can go to vacations? Why are you dating? You know, and if in your mind or if you're in your head you are saying, God, I am dating because of marriage, then you start saying, God, what is your criteria for dating for marriage? You know, and if the Bible says sex before marriage is a sin, then you start telling the dude, oh dude, I love you so much that I'm willing to do anything for you. And the anything that I'm willing to do is I'm not willing to give myself to destroy you. So if I give you the sex that you are looking for, you are going to destroy yourself, because after the sex you will move on to another woman. So we are participating in people destroying themselves. We are participating in people destroying themselves. They come to you and they're proposing distraction in the disguise of proposing love. And you are saying, yes, I will participate in destroying you.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, and after the relationship, when the two of you break up, both of you are getting bitter because both of you said, my man, destroy me as I destroy you. And then later on in life, men are adults or men are trash or men are whatever, but you participated in making them what you say that they are. However, let's come back here. What is salvation? What is salvation? What is salvation? You know, what is salvation? If God says He wants salvation to be worn as a helmet, we have to know what salvation is. The Bible says salvation is God's saving power. Salvation is God's saving power. Salvation is God's saving power. Now, when we started, we said our situations are different, so it means the power we experience it differently. And because of not understanding that God deals with us according to our situations or our circumstances, we are fighting today because God is rescuing me financially, when He is rescuing you spiritually, and because I'm standing from a place of having more money, I then say, you are not believing the right God because when you are going spiritually but there's no money. And when you're standing from a place of spirituality, you say the love of money is the root of all evil, because you have not seen the side of God's salvation that includes money. You know, the people that have not experienced the saving power maritime, they say, Nyala o. And then the people that have experienced God maritally, they tell you how beautiful marriage is. Actually, Paul begins to say, actually, what I wrote about, it's not about marriage, but it's about our relationship with Christ. Meaning these ones that are married are beginning to understand their relationship with Christ through marriage. You know, meaning marriage is bringing them closer to God. And so there are many facets to God. There are many facets to God, and it depends on one, your destiny, and two, where you are on your journey, that God reveals Himself. God is not recognized. God is revealed. Jesus is not recognized. Jesus is revealed. The Holy Spirit is not recognized. The Holy Spirit is revealed. So I would recognize Karabo because of how she walks, because of her face, because of her body structure. But God has to reveal the Christ in her for me to know God. So many times we surround ourselves with bodies because we recognize these bodies. But God has not revealed what is inside this body. So in every relationship that we have, our prayer should be, Lord, let me see your revelation, 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 because the minute I see the God in you, I stop relating to you based on your physicality, but I start relating to you from the inside. The reason why we are relating to people and men are saying, I want her to have a big bum, I want her to have this and that, it's because we want things that we can recognize. We do not want things that we can that God can reveal. You know, every time God reveals Karabo, I am blown away. Oh wow, God. So when I thought she does not have the balm that I thought would satisfy me, but God says, forget the balm. I have certain things from the inside of her that are going to help you to realize the power that is vested in you. But it all takes our mentality. It all takes our thinking. You know, the Bible says you are casting imaginations. We are bringing down thoughts. So this is what our wrestling is all about. This is what our wrestling is all about. This is what our wrestling is all about. And we will all be wrestling these wrestlings. Sometimes you will find yourself in a place where you start thinking, if I don't do this, they are going to fire me. You find yourself at work and you're saying, if I don't produce, they will fire me. And because of your thoughts, Job says, what I feared came to me. Because fear also exists in our thought pattern. If you don't watch the Animal Channel and you don't learn about animals, you will not survive when you find yourself in the place of those animals. If I don't know about snakes, I will not know how to deal with snakes or how to deal with a snake bite. So when a snake bites me, fear will cause the blood to flow so fast that I die faster. But if I am cool, it bit me, it's fine. I know that I can live 3-4 hours. The hospital is about 30 minutes away, then I am safe because of what I know. When they say knowledge is power, this is what they mean. You know, when you know that when I'm in the presence of an elephant and an elephant is angry, this is how I must behave, then you save your life, then you have salvation. If you know, Christ says you will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. You are free based on what you know. You are bound based on what you don't know. The Bible says, where there is lack of vision, people live rampantly or wild. So there are certain people, you see them posting on Facebook, living wild lives. That looks attractive to us because now it's a and we are reading the word and it looks like our lives are boring. But what they are simply floating on Facebook is their visionless life or their visionlessness. They are simply saying, whatever that happens this weekend, I want to be wasted. When you are saying, God, I want to worship you, which songs must I sing? Which verses must I read? What must I call? What must I say to your people? So you have a vision. You know that your life is not limited to you having fun, but there's a purpose to why you were born. There's a purpose to why you are here on earth. And every day you are living to make sure that that purpose is fulfilled. Because everybody is remembered with two things: the problems they created or the solutions that they brought. So when people remember you, when people say, yo, who put it wrong today, you must ask yourself a question. Are they missing the problems that I cause, or are they missing the solutions that I cause? You know, and this when you meet people back in high school, and they say, when I thought you used to be so corrupt, because these are the people that are remembering you for the problems. Oh Jesus. So knowledge is power, because what you know can change your life, can save you from dying.
Yes.
So you ask yourself, why did you leave this woman? Why did you leave that woman? Why did you leave that woman? I was able to leave certain toxic relationships because of what I know. Because God gave me a vision and said, this is what I want you to do. So any relationship that seemed to take me away from what God said I want you to do, I found a way to run away from it. And I always embraced relationships that bring me closer to what God says I must do. You know? So because I knew that God called me, because I knew that God wants to use me, because I knew, even though I was eating sin, I always had the consciousness, you are a pastor. You know, you are a man of God. So I would eat sin, and then later on, I would say, I was speaking to God, and God says, I must just release myself from this. You know, because at some point, I would eat it to a point where I did not feel God anymore. I did not hear God anymore. And I had to chase away the body so that I can embrace the Spirit of God and be able to hear what God is saying. Amen? So salvation means saving. Actually, the proper word is sozo. Sozo is the one word that accomplishes every other definition, salvation. Sozo, it means to be saved holistically, meaning financially, maritally, spiritually, economically, politically, and in every other way. So salvation is a process. We have been saved, we are being saved, and we shall be saved. So it happens in 3 ways. When you said, Lord Jesus, come into my heart, be my Lord and Savior, wash me with your precious blood, you were being saved. And then Paul says, brethren, I beseech you, renew your mind. So renewing your mind is a process of being saved. You were saved, you are being saved. Because there's other people that were saved, they said, Lord Jesus, I receive you, live into my heart, be my Lord and Savior, but their mentality is still the same. You know, this is why we are still in the church, but we are living life that is worse than the life you are living, because we have not allowed God into our mentality. He said, come into my heart. So spiritually, you have been saved. But there is salvation that must now happen in your body. And the salvation that must happen in your mind. So, us meeting on every Tuesday, us meeting every Friday, us meeting every Sunday, us meeting every Monday, or any other day where there's a meeting or a gathering of the saints, and what happens is you are being saved. There is the salvation of your mind. There is the salvation of your mind. So your mind is being changed. Your mind is being rewired. Your mind is being redeemed. Your mind is being restored. Your mind is taken from the toxic things that you used to see into the things of God. You know, the Bible says the carnal mind is death. When you're thinking car, you are thinking husband, woman. Okay, in a bad way. when you're thinking boyfriend, girlfriend, okay, extra husband, wife. When you're thinking boyfriend, girlfriend, when you're thinking get rich quick scheme, when you're thinking all of these things, this is carnality. Carnality simply means that you are thinking things that connects you to this world. Then the Bible says to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded, to be thinking God, to be thinking, when am I going to see an angel? To be thinking, oh my God, I haven't prayed today. To be thinking, oh my God, fasting shy, I'm shy. To be thinking all of these things, the spiritual mind brings eternal life.
Amen.
You know, so every day we find ourselves between thinking about the things of the world and thinking about the things of God, and this is what warfare is. You know, so warfare is thinking about where you used to be when you should be thinking about where you are going. So when you think, when people say I am not worthy, it is because most of the time they are thinking about where they used to be and they are not thinking about where they are going. But if you think about where you are going, you start saying, God, I am enough. You start saying, God, I am your prized possession. You know, you start saying, I am a royal priesthood, a chosen generation, God's own special person. Why? Because you are thinking about where you are going. You start saying, I am the righteousness of God, even though you are not doing right things. Why? Because you are thinking of where you are going. So we have to always be thinking about the things of the Spirit. Always be thinking about spiritual things. God, when am I going to see an angel? God, when are you going to visit me? God, these prophets are saying, I see. When am I going to see? You know, these prophets are saying, I hear. When am I going to hear? You know, you hear somebody who sings and he says, you know, I was spending time with God and God said to me, God, when are you going to say something to me? You know, God, when are you? The more you start asking these questions and you're becoming spiritually inclined, you start attracting God. You know, you start attracting Him. Because it simply means that you are looking for Him. You know, and He says, look for me while I may be found. Because the Bible says God rejoices in hiding. God rejoices in hiding. You know, so God will hide Himself. And He will hide Himself by not providing financially so that you can look for Him. Because He enjoys a relationship more than anything. So I can stand here without a relationship with God. And I will feed you me. But the minute I start having a relationship with God, then God will start to feed you people from that relationship. God will start to feed you from that relationship. God starts taking care of you from that relationship. God starts to protect you from that relationship. And that relationship comes from our thoughts. The Bible says, I will keep you in perfect peace, whose mind is forever stayed on me. I will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is forever stayed on me. It means every time you're going to experience peace in your life is because your mind is not on God. Anytime you find yourself in a place where you are not experiencing peace or you are not enjoying peace, it's because your mind is not on God. Every time your mind is on God, you have peace. Every time your mind is on God, you have peace. January 2019 comes, people are saying, we are looking for incidents. When we are looking for God, we have peace. You know, January 2019, people start making our resolutions. When your resolution is, I want to know you more, you have peace. You know, when your resolution is, how can I serve you better, you have peace. You know, so he says, when your mind is forever stayed on me, peace is the reward that you get. You know, does peace mean that no. does peace mean that everybody's smiling and laughing with you? No. Does peace mean that they will not call you lazy? No. But you have peace, even though they call you lazy. You say, I am what my Father says that I am. When you see laziness, my Father sees his friend. I am a friend of God. He knows my name. So when you are known by bosses, I am known by God. Whenever you are provided by bosses, you are provided by God. Amen. You know, and this God shall supply all my needs, not some needs, not some needs, according to his riches in glory. Now, if you can weigh glory, then you will know how much God will provide. He does not provide according to the rent you have been charged. He does not provide according to the account that you owe. He does not charge or provide according to the car payment. But he provides according to his riches and glory. He looks at his glory and he says, payment, she needs glory. So she gives you glory, and glory is very attractive. When you have the glory of God, when you have the weight of God, money gets attracted to you. When you have the glory and the weight of God, husband, wife is attracted to you. Job is attracted to you. Job offers are attracted to you. Why? Because there's a certain glory that God is providing you with. So every morning, He always deposits glory. He always deposits glory. And your glory is what causes people to love you. Your glory is what causes you to have favor. Amen. You know, so when people are looking for favor, when they are looking for the glory of God. Isaiah, he says, when King Uzziah died, meaning King Uzziah was always an obstacle because people were looking at the glory of the wrong king and not the glory of the King of Kings. So he says, I saw the Lord, and his tail was filling the temple. His glory was filling the temple. His glory was filling the temple. So he began to see the glory of God, and from seeing the glory of God, he began to have so much revelation that he began to write about. You know? So when you say his trail filled the church, every time a king conquers another king, they would cut off the garment and I will get every time a king conquers a king, if I conquer you, I will cut off so that anybody who knows that you wear black will know that you were conquered by me. When I conquer Mama Toba, I will take the navy and on top of the black so that they know that I also conquered her. I take the red, they know that I also conquered her and I also conquered her. So the more kings I conquer, the more I cut. And so when the Bible says his glory filled or his tail filled the temple, it means there are many colors. There were many colors that were belonging to kings, and then made him king of kings. Because every time he moved, when the color of that king is draining, it means he is draining that kingdom of hearts. You know? So he provides you like that. He provides you not according to what you need, but according to how much he has. If you need silver, he gives you gold. Not because he does not have gold or silver, not because he cannot afford silver, but because his level is gold. So his giving brings you to his level. He does not drop down to your level to give, but he drops down to pick you up and bring you up. And there is I sing.